All right, okay. Are you guys ready? Are we ready for this? Are we ready to go into this series? I certainly am. Give me the call.
Come on!
All right, we're just going to wait for this match to actually get the frames moving. For some reason, got a little bit of lag at the start. This is why we can't do the countdown. You know that? That's the reason why.
Oh, I know. It's a shame.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second series of today. This is going to be the last one for the rounds of 16, and we have an absolutely amazing matchup here. It's going to be Feymanville approach today, and on the south side, we are seeing, again, Korean Army playing as the Austere.
The battle lines are drawn. You've got the Polish juggernaut of KO2 in the north, the SNF5 champion, a former troll. He's now a tournament. Quite frankly, genius. This guy is so good at being a chaotic git to his opponents. He is a feared competitor. Players such as Helping Hands, Aimstrong, etc., they all have a little bit of reservations whenever playing Barton PL. Elsewhere in the south, you've got Korean Army, an absolute legend of the tournament scene. This guy was once touted as equivocal to DevM in terms of brute, KO2 and KO1 skill and tactical awareness. So the battle lines are drawn. The map is Feymanville approach. Quite frankly, the best tournament map we have for KO2. And Dan, ever with the sniper first Barton.
Yeah, I really miss seeing this. I was just thinking about like all those games that we've cast where we say, gosh, how slow are Soviets to get units up on the field? And something like building the sniper first, you know, high manpower, high build time. It's just one of those things you're like, wow, how ballsy for Barton to go straight in with that. But he is going to do it. He's going to play it confidently.
Do you want to know the backstory behind that? Barton actually uses the sniper first as an ode to his clanmates in Alta Play and previously Experts clan, because basically they used to troll the KO1 scene by going 5 snipers and going sniper first. So it's always been a bit of an ode to that. He knows it isn't exactly efficient. But despite that, he is that confident with his abilities in this game. He goes for a stylistic choice of always getting the sniper first. And that's what kind of player he is. He's chaotic and unpredictable.
Certainly is, but with little on the field at the moment, Korean Army doing a nice little hiding there behind the hedgerow. He's now able to pop back in and get close range damage off against the engineers. Barton's trying to snipe the Gren. It's going to take it down to 2 models, which is a great early game start. Getting 2 sniper kills in the first 2 minutes of the game. This is going to go, you know, this is looking to be very, very favorable as we see those sniper kills stack up over time. But Korean Army, I don't think he's losing. You know, it looks like actually for an early game, he's already paying very good attention to sight lines, trying to make sure he loses very, very little.
Indeed, he's trying to lose as little as possible. He knows he's up against the sniper, and in order to mitigate the sniper, he's either going to have to get one of his own or enough critical mass of infantry to flank it and put the Kar 98 Mausers down upon it. So right now, the battle lines are drawn, and we have Barton going for a penal battalion as a second unit out of the Special Rifle Command.
I really, really liked that Korean Army didn't retreat his MG there. He was so confident with the Grenadiers coming up onto the map that he didn't need to retreat the MG. He just really casually kind of went up and tried to kind of bait it in so that he could get shots off from the Grenadiers. So he's doing a very good job of that, even though it's a 2-model squad. He's still prepared to put it right up into the engagement, and it's a really nice thing to see. When you do get players who are confident enough to play like this, you know that the games are going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. Here we go. We've got Korean Army with mass infantry, SVT, penal battalion behind green cover. Who's going to win? Interesting, terse engagement there. Of course, Korean Army has better map control overall, but that's because Barton went sniper first. Will that sniper be making the difference? Has 7 kills already done. 3 minutes, 50 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it's already at double value for this. This is going to be one of those games, really, where Korean Army is just kind of balancing out the manpower damage with territory control. And I think actually if he can manage that well enough, he'll still be able to do very, very good on the teching front. Let's have a look. He's already got up battle phase 1, so he should be able to get tier 2 on the field. I wonder if he's going to rush the scout car. I wonder if he's going to use that against the penal battalions. Or what his choice is going to be here. Maybe he'll do what Zarok was trying to do with the half-track, trying to get those constant reinforcements on. But he's desperate to get that sniper down at the start of this game. Oh, he's going for the rifle nade!
Oh!
Really? Oh, that was actually relatively accurate. Barton not expecting it, but not that much health damage actually in the end. He's going for another one. He's going for a second one. Has Barton seen it?
Oh! Close engagements there. Here we go. The SVT's trying to gun a Grenadier down on... No negative cover on that pathway, though, so he's safe. This game is poised for brutality, Daniel. I'm excited. We're only 5 minutes in, but I can already tell this game is going to be a competitive affair. If you've got any friends that love Code 2 high-level play that want to watch this in your Steam, in your Skype, in your Discord, get them into this cast right now, because we are ready for an absolute battle. We've been due one in GCS. We've had a few duds, namely Aimstrong versus Jesulin, but we're due an absolute battle, and we're getting one. I feel it, Dan. Do you feel it too?
I do. These are the kind of games that I absolutely love to see. We've got slightly off meta start builds, really high value units. You know, this is like high risk, high reward, as we call it. And you know, losing some of these can be game defining. So it's a really tense game right from the start, because you know, if the sniper goes down, huge cost to get it back on the field. Clearly something that Barton loves. Korean Army's trying to push it again. Not confident enough to walk in with the Grenadiers up against the penal battalions. But there's a lot of pressure being put on by Korean Army here to hold the right-hand side, and it's actually meant that he's being decapped on the left by Barton, who's employing a little bit of cunning there, taking the penal battalion round.
People seem to be a little bit wary of Korean Army's rust, although he's not exactly exhibiting much rust right now. He's done very well so far, but people have voted 77% for Barton to win this game against obviously 22% for Korean Army. So people think Barton's going to win, but I don't think Korean Army's had a bad showing so far at all, Dan, at all.
No, I think he's played incredibly well. He is actually going to go what looks like that reinforcement strategy with the half-tracks, so going to be making use of the Pintle MG to try and weaken down the penal battalions. Also going to be able to reinforce the Grenadiers against the MP drain of the sniper. He's got enough territory, I think, still to continue the teching with little to no issues to this, so he's doing good. And there we go, Grenadiers, once again, they're just trying to get any kind of sight on that sniper as it comes in. Grenadiers constantly pushing up the flanks, forcing that sniper to retreat. Oh, he's actually upgraded to the Flamer. Oh, I was not expecting that,
He's going for it as well. He's going into base. Jesus Christ. This is so aggressive from Korean Army. He's going straight to the base territory. Does he know about the anti-tank tactical charges he must do? He's backed away.
Yeah,
but there you go. This guy is so capable of brutal aggression, Dan. He doesn't give a crap. He's got such a great game sense. He's from an era of tournament play that was at a level where people did base rushes and went for the jugular when they had the chance. So Barton knows that now. He's had a little bit of a scary moment where he saw this flame-wielding half-track just dawning upon him. So he knows what he's up against, and he has met this guy in Code 1's history, both Code 1 players from the past, both the great Code 2 tournament-level players. So these are old tournament favourites, and they're playing at the peak of their powers in GCS. And we've got the poised and we're peaked for a perfect battle right now.
Yeah, it was a really nice early game push there, taking advantage of all the seconds that he is able to push Barton. So keeping his 500 VPs, and this is something that we standard see. We have to remind everybody of that, is that Barton, you know, he hasn't lost anything. He's just building. And he's very good at turning situations around. Even when it looks to be an absolutely dire situation, you can pretty much count on Barton to pull something out of the bag. So we're waiting to see what that's going to be. We still don't have any of commanders picked at the moment, which we do have Lend-Lease counter-attack. I think we've seen Barton play counter-attack before very well. You know, penal battalions actually with the for Mother Russia ability would be something I think Barton could and probably would pull off in a 1v1 tournament scene, which would be lovely to see, really. Just depends if he feels confident enough.
Barton's one of those players that can make any commander work because he uses the base tech tree of his factions extremely well. He isn't actually a player that relies upon abusive commander meta.
The bunker is now a field hospital.
For the most part.
medical supplies going up for the austere, which I'm very thankful to see after the first series today. So it looks like we will be seeing healed Grens go into engagements, eh?
Oh, this is a different caliber of standard competition right now. I absolutely feel like we're watching top-level tournament play. Korean Army is one of those players that has such name value associated. Everybody that's from the SNF era of watching high-level tournament play was excited by Korean Army playing GCS. He's one of those players that coming back into the scene, it just gets people's, pricks their hairs up on the back of their necks. They're like, oh, Korean Army's playing, holy crap. And that's why, because even with Rust, he's still damn good at this game.
Is attempting to steal our sector.
I'm going to be really interested to see where he goes with this, because any of the games that he has been playing recently, anything that he's been, figuring out and figuring out builds for, be really interesting to see what he comes up with, because, he does have things like Lightning Maul, Mechanized Assault on his loadout, but he's still got Mobile Defense there, which, hasn't really been popular in 1v1s for a while. Maybe he's still planning on using it for something.
Korean Army with superior map control at the moment. He has double fuel, that's right, double fuel. His income is currently 27, which is pretty damn good. And this Flamer half track is doing work.
I really like that he put a lot of the ground attack with flames there. Like, I think probably just in case the penal battalions decide to get back into the building. So we can still hold that position to repair whilst the building's under duress. Either that, or he might decide to try and burn it down completely to stop it from being used by the Soviets.
Big shout out to Spartan Sniper, 22 kills and counting. That's paid for itself and then killed a further 10 units.
We did just see a mine go down there from Barton. That's actually been blown up by the... I think that was flame damage that actually triggered that mine there. So Korean Army really, like, he's just not getting fooled at any point. Just huge pressure still. Pioneers here are going to scout out that the AT gun is a position where it cannot turn at the moment very easily to get this half drag. Look at the burn.
Yes! The half track's getting in there, but here come the penal battalions with the upgrades. The PTRS anti-tank rifles doing great work against the half track. Look at that unit fly out of there. The flames burn. And Korean Army's had a rude awakening there.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. It looks like he couldn't quite get it to reverse out of that situation, but the PTRS is opening up, which is so big. I wonder if he's going to replace it. He's doing such a good job with it. It's doing so well at keeping Barton penned back. The good thing, though, is that I guess with the penal battalions, like 2 squads have upgraded to PTRS, so the Grenadiers are now going to be much better in their engagements against the penal battalions. So it might have actually weakened Barton a little bit, the fact that he's had that half track out.
Having less SVTs on that penal battalion can actually be a big hurt. They're expensive unit to field, and now they have less anti-infantry capabilities, and quite frankly, not great anti-tank capabilities, just decent light armor capabilities, in my personal opinion. Grenadier on difficult retreat path there is about to get away. We do now see the support armor corps coming up from the Korean Army. That is Battle Phase 2, Tier 3 for the Wehrmacht or the Ost here. And that's going to be great for him against sniper play in particular. If he's able to get the Ostwind or the Panzer IV on the field, he's going to have a great base to work upon.
I think it's interesting just to point out to people as well that the PTRSs for guards and penal battalions are different. They are not the same weapon. Only guards can actually pick up those PTRSs now, and it does change depending on the unit that picks it up. So, it is something that may actually play down for Barton having these squads on the field. Check out the commander pick, counter-attack tactics, which is actually what I wanted to see. Yeah, I think it is what was expected. Which is a nice commander to see.
One used by him so much, and B4 actually does occasionally bring that out, but for Mother Rush is the main thing, and of course the KV1. He's able to utilize that tank to great effect. Take up a lot of brutal punishment with its 76mm cannon. Can actually kind of take out some soft targets. It's not mainly an offensive vehicle, more of a defensive on the offensive vehicle, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's a meat shield.
Feels nice to see Maxims again, doesn't it? I never thought I'd say that, but doesn't it feel nice to see that unit fielded right now?
Well, they are effectively the MG34 now, and OKW still uses the MG. As Barton accidentally just... Did you see that? He just queued up 2 mortars by accident. I know that because on classical hotkeys, if you accidentally clicked... By the way, there's the first KV1 tank. It slumbers onto the field. These things were fierce for the Wehrmacht to deal with in the early stages of the war. They were there in 1941 in Operation Barbarossa, and the Germans had nothing to basically penetrate these tanks. They just had to run around it and try and bundle nade the vents on the engine. That's right, they had to try and get up close to it to take it out because they had nothing that could penetrate that tank.
It's going to be interesting to see how this pairs up with the Panzer IV that's going to come on the field from Korean Army, because potentially a faster, better anti-infantry vehicle. That being said, though, KV-1, a hell of a lot of armor there. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think maybe we won't see a lot of penetrations, although potential rear armor on the first couple of shots if the Panzer IV can get its sight in. Misses an opportunity to get that first shot off.
Here comes the Panzer IV. It's going to be a worthy adversary if used with a Pak 40, but there isn't one on the field. And to be honest, the Stug would have been a better choice against KV-1s.
I don't think he... Yeah, it's a difficult one. He did actually see the KV-1 before the Panzer IV had finished the build, but... yeah, tough one to call. Let's watch this engagement very, very carefully. This KV-1 seems like it'd be a very good choice here. Barton has gone for the strategic decap in the center, which means Korean Army now has no resources at all on the map, bar one strategic territory. So it seems like Barton has played this very, very well. This is an absolutely deadly blow to the income the Korean Army has.
It is, but to be honest, I think he's got everything he needs to be able to push back. Except the Pak 40. He needs that AT gun on the field, in my opinion. He has now gone for a generalist, all-purpose, medium battle tank, which isn't capable of pushing away the KV-1.
Well, he's got some fuel coming in, so maybe he'll decide to invest in something else from this tier whilst he can. I guess one of the good points as well is that hopefully when he does penetrate the shots, he'll be able to build up some veterancy on that Panzer IV relatively easily. Gotta be so careful with that AT gun though. Look at that mortar, looks like it takes down an entire squad of Bartons in the building, covering the fuel. So mortar doing some great work already.
What a great position we are in for the slaughter done. We're currently 16 minutes in. Barton does have less victory points, 3-3-2 remaining, but he is in a great position in terms of map control for the moment. We are now waiting for Korean Army to build that next piece of his army that will be able to deal with the KV-1. So his next teching decision is crucial. If he takes the wrong option, something that isn't capable of dealing with massed KV-1s, it could be his end. So all eyes on Korean Army and his next choice.
Very interested to see where he goes with this. And at the moment, it just looks like he's trying to kite in with the Panzer IV and repair it. Kind of on off constantly. It's not particularly efficient. If he loses too much health, it might be a situation where Barton decides to push. But actually, I mean, he needs to get that Pak 40 on the field. He is absolutely got to get that there to either defend or at least push off this KV-1, because the Panzer IV is not working as an option right now. It looks like mortar is focusing on the AT gun, so that will remove it a little bit, maybe making life a little easier for the Panzer IV, but look at that, Barton straight away focusing on the mortar. It's really good. 40 kills now. Over double at this part of the game, but the Panzer IV wipes the sniper straight away.
I was about to say the killing of the sniper was at 39 kills, and then I was clicking on it and I was like, where's the unit icon gone? And that's right, Korean Army has taken out that sniper squad of Barton. He's gotten himself into a much better position and he's able to now push out and cap the northern victory point. He's gotten a grenadier squad in that central garrison. He's now getting into a stronger position. It's all about trying to push away that KV-1 next. That's his next thing in his target. And we're eagerly anticipating where he's going in terms of commander choice too, because he hasn't even picked a commander yet. Of his choices, Go on, Dan, what are you going to say?
Well, he does know what the commander is, so I mean, he should be looking at something that maybe can counter it. But if he doesn't have access to that, which, for instance, he hasn't got a direct counter to the B4, so he's probably looking for something else depending on his game situation right now. Maybe it's something depending on how well the rest of this game goes, whether he pulls something out from goes for a Tiger, or whether he's going to go up to a tier 4, because something like the Panther might be very, very good for the KV-1. We'll have to see really what he does with it, but he's being very, very careless with his Panzer IV. I don't think he's Mineswept. He doesn't have the Minesweepers.
No.
Got to be so careful that he doesn't trigger that Panzer IV and mine, because AT gun with the PTRSs and everything else that's available. There's a lot of AT on the field.
Luckily for him, it is Barton's slack. He has 300 munitions, which I'm sure he's saving for Mother Russia, surely. But yeah, there are no mines at the moment. We do have a Pack 40 coming out for Korean Army, so great choice in tech. He should have had it out earlier, in my opinion, so he's made the right decision, though, in the end. Barton, by the way, has rebuilt the Scout Sniper Squad, which is a good decision, because he got 39 kills on the previous Scout Sniper Squad, so he more than paid for itself. In fact, he got the equivalent of 2 or 3 squad wipes with the previous sniper. So getting a second sniper squad is a good decision, too. So both players are building well into the medium to late game.
Yep, they absolutely are. And KV1 Faust, they're going to withdraw it a little bit from the engagement. Looks like Barton's going to come up and maybe try to engage the mortar. Might see a satchel come off here if he can spare the, the munitions, which of course we know he can. Mortar should just about get out of there. No, he blows himself up as well! Oh, how unfortunate. He didn't move away. The mortar was actually dropped, so it's actually a really bad trade for Barton, who loses his penal battalions. And still didn't really deal damage to the mortar. Pack 40 is on the field now, going to make life hard for the KV1. This is turning into a fantastic game at the moment.
It really is. It's building so well. At the moment, they're just going through all the elements of the orchestra, and they're building into a raging crescendo. And you can just feel it happening. This is KO2 at its very, very damn best. We're going to be waiting, Dan, for those all-important late-game pushes that are just going to be, quite frankly, brilliant viewing. If you're watching this in chat, oh, brutal assassination there with the LMG. KV8's trying to cover, does indeed cover well. You got the Guards acting very well as well. Sorry, the penal battalion's acting very well with the SVTs gunning down the Grenadiers, stopping them, taking that MG, the Maxim, pushing in with a 2-man Grenadier. Not going to go too well. The KV1 is an absolute beast. It's 40 tons of Soviet steel, and it's rampaging around the battlefield. It's only 12 kills, but it's more about the statement it's making. It's just such a big block of steel that Korean Army's unfortunately not able to push through the center and vanquish.
Really though, I mean, like, we have a look at the situation, what it was like, maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago, where Barton's pushed right into Korean Army's base, and like, we've got 2 players here who are, kind of like seemingly adept at turning situations around. That sniper kill was absolutely essential in making that happen. Barton's mistake with the PTRS penals, just very unfortunate things, but this is exciting. This is probably one of the more exciting games we've got to cast as a game 1 so far in the tournament.
Oh,
but,
I knew this would be good.
Yeah, we're going to have a switch round, I'm sure, again, because now we've got Barton back in the base, repairing. He's probably going to be weighing up his tech options for what he's going to go for next. For Mother Russia is unlocked as an ability now, so we might see him try to make some kind of play with that. But look at the veterancy on Korean Army's units. Wow,
Wow.
Preservation for Austere is incredible.
It's almost indicative of him, He's a veteran tournament player that's coming back for yet another big tournament. And he brings with him veterancy 3 Grenadiers up the wazoo. He's got everything. He's got a Vet 3 MG42 as well. He's got a great base to build upon. It's all about keeping his Panzer IV alive, though. He's not doing a great job of that at the moment. Oh, he backs into the Pack 40. Has to reverse out of there. But Barton does not have the capabilities to push as much as he'd like. And, I mean, where do the players go from here? At the moment, it's just a killing match with what they've got. And Dan, you called it. Barton's finding himself in familiar territory as he's now on 236 to 233 and dropping victory points. And it's going to get in familiar territory where he has to make plays, big balls plays, in order to win this game. And it's going to get very exciting in the late game. You can already feel it happening.
Well, this is the situation that actually scares me. Like, I think the better you do against Barton, the more scared you have to be. Because, we already saw him turn this game around a little bit from what looked like a great position from Korean Army. Now we're going to see, this nice use of the capping from the veterancy there on the KV1 on the right, but we're now seeing this situation where, Barton will start to push back. When those VPs start to drop, you will see him play absolutely furiously. And what looks like making loads of mistakes in the early game, he'll find a way around that for sure.
I don't think he's made mistakes as such. I mean, I appreciate everything you've just said, by the way.
The satchel
In
charge
general-
was a mistake.
No, that was a show of force. That was, you know, that was a jihadist moment where he was just like, I don't care if I take my own life, kind of thing. But if you look at everything Barton's done in this game, he's not played badly. It's just Korean Army's played better. But Barton's like a fine wine within, you know, the hour it takes for a Barton game to happen. By the 50-minute mark, all of a sudden he hits the next gear. In the southwest, by the way, you will find an excellent utilage of the bunker by Korean Army. He's upgraded it for 60 munitions, 150 manpower. And that, by the way, has no hop cap ramifications and no upkeep ramifications, so it's much better than an MG. He wants to watch over that victory point. It's only up against KV-1, so he can possibly push away a KV-1 if it goes for it. And it's going to act as a great utility, and a lot of top-level players actually do use bunkers.
I have a real feeling that Korean Army may not know that you can ground attack with the AT gun through the hedgerow. He tried to time that Faust off. I think he tried to time that Faust off for a hit from the AT gun and snare, but actually hit two different of the KV-8s. Timing was off anyway, so it wouldn't have worked. But there was a couple of opportunities there where he could have popped a shot off on the KV and then got the snare. Didn't take that opportunity at all. That's a great rifle nade on the Maxim there. Going to force Barton to retreat.
Not quite getting the killing blow, however. Keep an eye on Barton's victory points, 173 and drop 2-bit caps against him at the moment. The Panzerwehr backs away in fear. Two different words I'm led to believe. Grenadier also in a difficult predicament. However, thanks to the lack of SVTs on those penals, they're not able to get the killing blow.
The sniper's moving in. It's in open territory at the moment. Can those LMGs open up to get that damage off? Yes, they get some of the health damage off. Don't take a model, though. Good response by Barton. He's very, very quick on that sniper play.
Indeed, the sniper already getting enough kills to pay for itself on the second attempt. Doing pretty damn well, as you'd expect a Barton sniper to do. But right now, this is Korean Army's game to lose. But Barton is, as we've already mentioned, a master of making people lose games in the late game. For example, you got Cruzy out there in chat. He's felt the bitter taste of defeat at the hands of Barton in a late game scenario before. He's not to be scoffed at as the Panzerwehr jumps into a Ziscon, but for some reason Barton backs away. To be honest, 2 more shots than that would have been done for, but there were the Grenadiers in position to do the damage if it had tried for it.
He probably could have got away with that, but I think he would have lost the AT gun to the Grenzen mortar if he did stick around. So he may have made the right call, because I think he probably believes very much in his very much in his late game build. Look at this, he's still trying to harass with that low health Panzer IV. He's still bringing it right in against the sniper, making use of the opportunities, even though it's so risky. He's so confident in his playstyle, and he's working magic with this faction.
He really is. I mean, Korean Army arguably is best as Wehrmacht. That is one faction he is excellent at. It goes hand in hand with a lot of Co-1 tournament pros. Wehrmacht is the least changed faction from Co-1 to Co-2. So they just seem like they are fish in water when playing this faction. And it really goes to show when you watch them play, because look at the veterancy he's maintained on these Grenadiers. All with LMGs, by the way. So the superior DPS in the late game now is really beginning to show.
Yeah, the veterancy is really, really helping to deal with all of these engagement situations there. Hopefully he manages to get that Maxim down and retreat. I think he'll be a little bit cheated if he doesn't, and he doesn't. But I think Korean Army is about to go for the Tiger. It's probably the only thing that we've seen come out of this doctrine choice at the moment so far. Got a Grenadier squad in a dangerous position against the KV-2 there. Oh, it's wiped on the retreat. Veterancy goes down, but in counter, Panzer IV takes one of the penal battalions out in the center, so we are seeing some kind of even trades come on. Brutal.
Absolutely disgusting plays there. Absolutely brutal, as Dan says. We still have Korean Army in a commanding position. We've got Barton, 111, all the ones on the victory point counter. And Korean Army has pretty much an unassailable lead if he was up against anybody but Barton. But that's the situation we find ourselves in. Barton still has a very competent army. Still doing damn well. But it seems that Korean Army's just had better map control for the duration of this 28, nearly 29-minute battle so far.
Gosh.
Look at the munitions countdown as well. 622 of Barton. That is unforgivable in my mind. He's played very well, but he's not been planting those mines or demos, and he's not been able to keep hold of his territories. Not cool to see.
I mean, I don't know what the plan was. I mean, because obviously he's got the B4. I kind of wondered if his decision to pick Faymanville was because of the distance of the map. Like, the B4 is a little bit more accurate when it's not max range, and the range here on a map where the bases are close. Do you know what I mean? You can be a little bit more efficient. I don't know if that's his plan, but he hasn't used the recon. He's not used from Mother Russia. There's some of the demos are coming up now. I think he's putting mines over the demos.
Finally.
So that, of course...
It's almost as though he heard us. But here we go, we've got 54 tons of Kruppstahl on the field. The Panzerkampfwagen 6 is here. And it's going to be trying to rampage and get that veterancy it needs to become a super tank. Because in my mind, a vanilla Tiger is nothing to behold. But when it starts to get some big shots in against these KV-1s, which, by the way, cannot penetrate its frontal armor, well, barely can penetrate. It just did, just to cast its curse me, obviously.
It's always the way. Don't cast things like that. It's unfair to the players.
Oh, you barely ever see a KV-1 penetrate a Tiger, and then we see 3 in a row. Oh, of course.
Oh, we've got Penal Battalions taking a very nice flanking line here to the bunker covering fuel. They're going to be able to get the satchel charge off. PTRSs will deal with any damage required after this to take the bunker down, but it is going to go down. Left side is now open, but not necessary, because once again, Barton pushing that strategic decap in the center means that Korean Army is back to having relatively... basically no resources out. He does have his fuel on the right side, actually, so that's it's unfair to say. But
yeah, he's doing well, man. He's doing well. He's still got 2 victory points, or will he, when this Penal Battalion captures this southern victory point? Because Barton is starting to awaken. That's right, 31 minutes in the game, Barton's opened one of his 2 eyes, and he's saying, hang on, I've got a game to win here. This is a tournament. Barton takes these tournaments extremely seriously. In his words, when there's money on the line, he does not mess around. He does not troll. He goes for it. Pack 40 in great position, trying to attack around that KV-1. Misses on its second attempt. We've got Zisgun against the Panzerwehr in the centre. The Panzerwehr is going for it with Blitzkrieg. Will he make it around that western side of the shield? It's now up against 2 KV-1s that are trying to push it away. The Tiger's in a covered position. Interesting engagement. It itself is now Blitzkrieging away. So, bipolar usages of Blitzkrieg there.
We've got the full Mother Russia ability on as well. Those Penal Battalions hurled it down the center of the map to try and get that Panzer IV. Absolutely hilarious. Like, I'm not sure what they were trying to achieve there, because to try and get that satchel off for the vehicles is difficult whilst moving, but great little push there, and it's nice to see him finally start.
Oh no, he's not gone for it. He was Mother Rushing through a fuel point to try and get to the victory point, but there was a Gren already at the victory point, so he's now in an terse engagement. But Barton now will, as the mortar goes down by the way, will now focus mostly on victory points, you'll find, because it has become a victory point based battle. If he gets 2 victory points, he then tries to go for the killing blow in most engagements. He's worn his opponent down, he gets the 2 victory points, and then he goes for the killing blow.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Yeah, this is what we were expecting, but Korean Army, who looks a little bit weaker now, he's actually lost his indirect fire option. He doesn't have the munitions to use the artillery barrage that comes with the doctrine, so he's got a lot to come up against. And you know, with those vehicles he's got, he can still make some pretty good plays. We do see Vet 2 on the AT gun, so we do have the target weak point that can stun these vehicles, allow the Tiger and the Panzer IV to go in and close off those kills. But this is going to be a very difficult one. He's walking a lot of Grens in at the moment to the MGs, just kind of losing a lot of the manpower.
There you go, we've got interesting battle lines drawn. That's right, we've got 3 Grenadiers, a Pack 40, a Vet 3 MG42, the Tiger, and the Panzerwehr. They're up against a Zis, a Maxim, the 2nd Scout Sniper team built, a Vet 2 Maxim in turn, 2 Combat Engineers, 2 Penal Battalions, and 2 KV-1 tanks. We're 33 minutes into this battle. Barton has 82 victory points remaining. You would expect him to be suffering, to be licking his wounds, but no. This is what we call Barton time. We're now entering what you would like to call the Twilight Zone, but no, this is the Barton Zone. This is where he kicks it up a notch, enters that gear we did not know he had, and starts to make some serious plays. So expect the unexpected, and get ready for the unpredictable.
There really has been a lot of moments, in my opinion, where Korean Army could have taken some ground attack through buildings and hedgerows, and he just hasn't done it. I really wonder if this is kind of a knowledge counter here that he isn't using, because he's constantly, we constantly see him trying to take those sight lines. But the demo charge on the munitions is already blown, by the way, but still we're seeing these double grenadiers run into the VP. There is a demo there. They've got to be so careful.
Of course, he's got that victory point capped. He's got line of sight. There we go. Barton could be getting a vanilla LMG Grenadier to his favour if he gets a favourable angle on it. He hasn't got the angle at the moment, but he might get it if he goes for some kind of engagement with it.
Actually, a little bit worried about because if this unit retreats, it will go past the demo charge. It will be a squad wipe if Barton has his eyes on it.
Oh!
Nice shot from the Panzer IV.
I thought that could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. We've also got a demo on the southern victory points. All of a sudden, Barton has a somewhat respectable munitions count of 294, having used 3 demos and a Mother Russia. That's 370 munitions spent.
Let's have a look if he decides to ground attack the VP, whether he suspects it's there or not. In fact, he's just walking casually past it, won't lose a squad if that goes off. He does need to minesweep that demo in case he gets caught off again.
So we have another Panzer IV to be joining the Tiger. So I feel like Korean Army is starting to get to critical mass in terms of the armor composition he would need to push through Barton's forces, especially with Pack 40 support, and really do some lasting damage.
I think he's starting to play this very well. My one worry actually is that a lot of the vehicles he's pushing through with don't have a lot of health, so they will be snared easily. We don't see target weak point from the AT gun, even with a perfect opportunity to use that there. Would have taken the KV-1 down. Engineers on the left side walking past the demo. Barton blows it. Engineers go down. At least hopefully this time when he replaces the engineers, he will get minesweepers.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slap on the wrist there. It isn't a full king. Korean Army has lost a pioneer, and that should be the trigger to now get minesweepers, as Dan rightly mentioned. By the way, Barton's getting a favourite Barton unit, and again, he's getting a second Zisgun, which in my mind, because he is the prima donna of Zisgun play, having one SNF5 using them, we'll get to see that again as the Tiger rears into the centre.
I think one of the saving potentials for him in this game would be if he could get the veterancy rolling higher on the Tiger. But look at it, what a careless play with the Panzer IV here. I wonder where he's going with it, flanking around the AT gun.
Careless or genius? Oh, it looks likely to be the former. He's now getting penetrated by the KV-1s and taken out.
That was a careless play. You can tell Korean Army is starting to lose his army now, is starting to think maybe I've got to make some deep pushes. All he has to do, though, is take 2 VPs and just hold out for a little bit longer. He's got plenty of time to recompose, plenty of time to build up counters for this. Possibly needs to look at getting indirect fire back on the field so he can help advance these pushes. But,
as well, Korean Army is a little bit rusty. He does not play the game as much as Barton does. He's still, of course, a fierce tournament competitor of many years of campaigning, but when he were to get into the 40-minute mark and beyond, perhaps his endurance could fail him, which we may have just seen a little bit of an example of with that Panzer IV inexplicably rushing into those KV-1s.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
I guess the nice thing about having to go up against KV-1s is that the Tiger doesn't have to really worry about getting flanked at any point. We don't have that kind of austere rush, with the reverse, with the Blitzkrieg on, there's T-34s coming in, all the rest of it. We're not seeing, and I don't think we will see any of those kind of deep dives with the tank engagements here. So Korean Army really should take this time to hang back, but look at this, the Tiger is very low. Oh, Barton tries to take a ground attack.
So close, though. By the way, so Barton now has 70 combined kills on his snipers in this game. That is pretty damn formidable. He lost the first squad, he built a second squad, he got both to Veterancy 3, and that just goes to show you when you're good with a unit and it dies, if you're a player of Barton's caliber, just rebuild the damn thing.
The enemy is attempting to to steal our sector.
Korean Army going to take the left VP again. Getting that double VP is so critical to him right now, because that is really the way that he can get this game closed quickly, if he can put that pressure on Barton. But he is struggling. He has got things available to him, but he is struggling.
Here comes 45 tons of Russian armour to possibly try and contend the south. Instead tries to pick on the MG42. But he's really got to focus on the victory points now as Barton. I know 82 victory points for Barton is like 300 for any other player, but still, he cannot afford to get double capped. Even double capped would be a big blow to him at the moment. Another thing to note is, of course, Korean Army lost his veterancy Pioneer. So he's now got a vanilla Pioneer, so repairs are going to take a hell of a long time.
Yeah, he also really needs to focus Minesweepers on those, because he just can't afford to lose any more squads on the off chance. Got for Mother Russia on again. Barton just kiting in and out with his infantry, for some reason retreating back. Actually, it looks like he's going to do some quick repairs on the KV-1. Interestingly, these bunkers from Korean Army haven't really had great effect.
Not as much effect as you would have liked. Usually with one of those bunkers, to be honest, you want them in a slightly deep position in the centre, somewhere where you can protect them. And then you really get the benefits.
I mean, actually, to be fair, though, it has helped him hold the VPs for a decent amount of time. But they're just so easily taken down by the KV-1s. They're not really like defensively played at this point. But Barton looks like he's yeah, no worries at all. Barton looks like he's mustering up for another attack here. It looks like KV-1 coming through the center with a flank, KV-1 through the left. Sorry, from Mother Russia is still on recharge at the moment. We might actually see some kind of huge push come through any moment now. And Panzer Grenadiers are in. Might see Panzer Shreks come up, because of course Korean Army is struggling to deal with the KV-1 armor right now, even with the Tiger on the field. Still struggling on Vet 1 to deal with those shots. Hopefully with some veterancy we might see that start to change, but it's going to be a long game to go at this point. Barton's VPs seem to have stabilized at the moment, but we're going to see a decap hopefully on the right hand side. And the squad needs to be very careful it doesn't move too much to the left, because a retreat, especially with you got a unit here that has vision on the demo charge, if it retreats slightly to the left, it will be something that Barton can take advantage of and blow.
Well, interesting engagements in the east here, as the demo is something that he could be utilising. Got a combat engineer in an advantageous position. Oh, can't quite get the trigger let low. Barton is able to cap the southern victory point.
I'll be upset if he gets caught off by that demo charge. It looks like he partially avoided it there. I think he might be suspicious that there is a demo charge there. I mean, he did actually see that they were engineers and minesweepers, which is a bit of a giveaway. Got 80 guns setting up position for the KV-8. Will he make use of the target weak point? I don't even know if he knows this ability exists right now, because he's had a lot of opportunities he could take advantage of that and hasn't.
Oh, just no attack ground exists. He's making great usage of that at max range. Korean Army is one of those players that is just damn good at the game. Not through playing it for the past several years in Automatch, just through his veterancy levels. Having been a tournament professional of the yesteryear, to be honest, he's always been able to come back into CO2 and do extremely well. But that does not mean he's very well polished at being efficient with the abilities. That means he's just got great mechanics overall with the base armies. KV-1 versus a veterancy 2 Panzerfear with the skirts. Got the penal battalion rushing in with Mother Russia engaged. However, they're trying to get that satchel off, but the bonus of the road meant the Panzerfear was able to get away. And the Grenadier now with the LMG and the Pak-40 watching over is more than a match for that Soviet contingent.
Yeah, I think he handled that relatively well. Barton's putting great pressure on, but we've just seen him run out of munitions now. So Barton can't make so much use of the counter-attacks. You might have to wonder if those kind of pushes have had their time of day. But Panzer IV, Vet 3 now, and light artillery barrage is coming on the central house. Not sure if Barton spotted it. Yeah, one more of this.
One more barrage, it's dead! Oh, just about got out of there. Just about. There's a Vet 3. Maxim there for Barton, that's just about survived. One of 2 Vet 3 Maxims, that's right. Maxims The good players are still using them. The balance was a pretty decent balance. They're about MG34 levels in capabilities.
Well, Tiger now getting Veteran C2, and we need to see this hit Vet 3 really to start being the big contender in this game. Needs to keep it alive at all moments, and the Pack 43 is opening up there with a couple of shots. Loads of penetrating hits. Barton looks like he might be trying to push. So Korean Army did manage to make the retreat in time. But 1 KV, 1 Fausted in the north. Panzer IV coming in even with a little low health. Still wanting to protect that Tiger. It is such a key unit for Korean Army right now, and he absolutely has to get Veteran C on that up.
The reason we talk about the Tiger 3 getting to Veteran C3 is so damn important. At that level, it gets minus 30% reload, plus 20% rotation speed, plus 20% speed, and better acceleration, deceleration. It becomes a much better tank. And that'll allow Korean Army to really push the agenda in the center.
VPs still draining for Korean Army, slowly running out of time to make this work. Barton has been building up the veterancy on his units incredibly. You know, just again, exactly what we expected from him really, to kind of draw this out, to get all his units at incredible levels, and play them so well, play the map so well. Because we've got the MG sitting on top of a demo charge on this side. Barton blows it. MG is down. Structure is destroyed
it's a
as well.
MG. A Vet 3 MG. Now, Dan, if you look in base with Korean Army, can you spot the problem? It's taking him too damn long to repair these tanks. 2 Vets, 0 Pioneers are just not cutting the mustard with those blowtorches. They're not even at the right temperatures, quite frankly, because these tanks are spending way too much time. That is downtime, idle time. Time that could be better spent slaughtering the Asiatic horde from the east in the center of Favenville approach. Instead, they are cowering in the base.
It's a weird one here because those tanks are really having to do so much work, and because of that, you know, they are losing health very quickly. They're requiring the full attention of the engineers at really all points, and it needs to kind of. It's just a shame. A lot of the early game has kind of allowed this situation to happen for Barton. But Tiger's got a lot of work to do solo.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
I just think Barton, one of the things that really benefits him as a player is he absolutely thrives in these late game engagements. He's got it into his head that this is where he's best, right? So when the other players get into these late game engagements, their psychology becomes negative. They're like, oh my god, this is dragging on way too long, I couldn't finish it out, and Barton's like, pretty much. He just finds himself at this point where he's like, you're in my realm now, this is my yard, and you're standing on my territory, and you know, welcome to Barton Zone.
This is definitely kind of a peak zone for him to play in, but Korean Army still has enough to turn this game around. He's still got things available to him. He's actually bringing up the Minesweepers to go over to the VPs for capping now, which is really sensible. He's clearly paying attention to that mistake that was made earlier. I really feel like one of the things lacking here, though, for Korean Army is indirect fire, because that's something that was really beneficial to him earlier. I wonder if we'll see him pop out a mortar. I wonder if we'll see him ever get the manpower free to tech, because without the indirect fire, without the access to smoke, without the access to taking down the AT guns at range, there's a little bit of a problem. But even more of a problem if he loses this Vet 3 AT gun, though, which is such a powerhouse against the KVs.
Really needs it. Just about gets it behind a side blocking bush and is able to keep that veterancy. That's all important. Now he has 136 victory points left. He's getting down to Barton's victory point counters. He himself is going to have to make plays. And let's face it, he needed Lightning War in this engagement so he could get the Stuka anti-tank strafe. He's not had that in this game, and it's not been to his advantage as the fire from the KV-1s rains down upon his grenadiers and turns them into a bloody mush.
Absolutely brutal. All of this is brutal. Barton losing very little now. Sniper on 47, so it's actually made up the kills per minute on top of what the other one had earlier. And the Korean Army is just having to tread out the territory with grenadiers, even though he's just going to be so careful because he knows the demo charges have been laying everywhere in this game. This Tiger, I think, the Tiger's doing relatively well. I mean, 20 kills. When it gets that Vet 3, will start to do well. It's just whether he has the VPs left to make a big deal with it.
Ooh, and look at this Grenadier right now. Of course, Barton doesn't see that demo at the moment. He has no line of sight, so Korean Army's going to vault over that wall to avoid demos he might think are there. He's able to get that victory point, which is very important. Elsewhere in the north, it looks like we've got a beleaguered Grenadier just popping out of suppression for the time being, as the Panzer Kampfwagen 4 comes into our field of vision to try and dedicate itself to that northern quadrant. So we've got battle lines drawn bloody everywhere at the moment, and we've got an excellent game. We're now getting to the crunch zone, 49 minutes in. This game is anybody's for the taking. Barton has a slightly stronger army size, but Korean Army could pull it out of the bag if he really makes some big wins, if he managed to get them. However, we've got the KV-1 pushing in against the Panzer 4. Will he be able to get it down?
I don't know, it's Blitzkrieg. I don't think they'll be able to fire that fast, but the Tiger gets a shot from the KV, which means Fausts are coming in. Could be the end if the Tiger decides to pursue that. VP was capped on the left, which means the VP is now draining again for Barton. Exactly the situation that Korean Army wanted. Can he get that last shot off on the KV-1? He does, but it isn't enough to kill it.
No, but he's got the Faust ready from this other Grenadier. Will he be able to get there? Oh, he's going for the tank. He could have actually finished off the other tank. But here we go, got the Tiger tank coming into view at the moment. Gets a big penetration from the KV-1 of all things. Pat 40 isn't able to get the killing blow off either. But now, will this give Korean Army the initiative he needs to push these victory points?
Gosh, I don't know. He's pushing in very, very close with the Tiger there. Actually, the sniper's in a dangerous position.
Double Zis guns will penetrate, will destroy this Tiger, or will they? It gets behind the bush. The sight blocker stays alive. However, the Zis guns in pursuit. Does he fancy it? No, the Tiger has preserved its mortal coil in its realm of existence. Elsewhere in the center, we've got Korean Army pushing with this Grenadier, taking this victory point against this Vet 3 Maxim. It does manage to neutralize it before it is suppressed.
Barton is really trying to chase those VPs now. He's trying to cap the right-hand side as well. He will get the one in the center after this, and it doesn't look like Korean Army's got anything on the field that can respond immediately to this. Brings out a Stug E, which looks like it's potentially going over to the right-hand side to deal with this, but a triple cap would mean just over a minute of gameplay left if Barton could hold it. Does he have the engineers around to plant those demo charges that are really going to help him lock down those territories? Doesn't look like it, so it's all a matter of who can get those vehicles repaired, who can do the damage on the field. I have a feeling Korean Army's still got a chance to come back in this.
I do as well, especially with the Stug E Mini Brumbear, which will be a great deterrent against victory points in the late game. However, he's now just dropped a below 100 victory points. Welcome to the Barton zone. And we're going to get into that late game territory, 51 minutes in and counting, where it's anybody's game to win and any player's game to lose. What is going to happen is we've got the Panzer 4 coming into difficult territory against Ziskun's. Bad play there from Korean Army. He'd only just repaired it. He gets an abandon, but he's lost the Vet 3. And it looks likely that the Penal Battalion could have actually stolen it, but instead he goes for the wise decision to kill it.
That was so unfortunate. I think he was trying to charge in there to center for whatever reason. Of course, he hasn't really clocked on that the sniper is providing excellent vision for those AT guns. The double AT gun with sniper combination is just doing fantastically. Korean Army is actually walking his AT gun up the center of the map right now. I'm guessing either to counter KV-1 or to at least just cap with it. It's actually hitting that level of desperation right now.
It really is. And it's also living up to its namesake as the game we expected to see. This is exactly what we wanted to see as casters, and exactly what we thought we'd see, and it's exactly what we've damn got. As we're now into the zone where, for the first time in this game, Korean Army's victory points are about to drop below Barton's. However, he has just managed to neutralise that central victory point. All of Barton's forces are now coming into muster with For the Motherland popped. He gets the combat engineer in focus. He's got the 2 Vet 3 KV-1 tanks in focus. Those big heavy tank vehicles are going to push away the Stug E. And Korean Army's now going to relinquish his hold and go back to base.
Gosh, yeah, he actually tried to use target weak point there from the AT gun and had to move it for safety. It's an opportunity for Barton to just really heavily camp that strategic point in the middle, and also, you know, the left-hand side. He's just sitting units there. It's going to make it incredibly difficult for Korean Army to come back from this. once again, you know, like no indirect fire at the moment for Korean Army. Poor guy can't even really afford it right now because he's so busy reinforcing what he's got and playing with it.
In my opinion, Korean Army needs to disregard the centre. It sounds crazy, but Barton's got such a strong base in the centre right now. He's got no other option. He cannot push through that hard Soviet front. As is, dear God, that Stuggy gets literally torn apart by the hull. As does the Bet-3 pop. Oh, and it gets weapon destroyed as well. Barton has clearly won this game now. There's no way back for Korean Army, in my opinion. He's on the long, hard road down to 0 victory points. He does have the Tiger Race coming into field. That's a Vet-3 Panzerkampfwagen 6 call-in.
Even with Vet-3, I mean, this thing's going to struggle at the moment. The rate of fire is very, very high on it, and of course the vision, absolutely huge, but it is not going to be enough. Really not going to be enough at this point. VPs finally go down 58 to Barton in favor of 56. So this is the moment that Korean Army was fearing. It's exactly what we predicted before the start of this. Tiger looks like it's gone blitzkrieg, maybe trying to chase down the KV-1s, taking a line of flanking to the right-hand side. This is an all-or-nothing push.
He's getting literally pretty damn desperate now, Korean Army, as the Beetle Battalion's onto him. One mother rush. There you go. We've got the anti-tank satchel. Korean but doesn't need it because the Zis guns get the kill. As there you go, the Tiger rears out of control, and it's now a burning wreck.
There we go. Surrender is hit. 55-minute game in game 1. I hope you guys are ready for a long series.
To be honest, with Korean Army having a lot of endurance damage done to him there, Barton could be in a very commanding position. That's a 55-minute win, and he's now riding high, and Korean Army is ducking low.
That was a really nice game. That was probably one of the more entertaining games we've cast of the tournament so far. We had a good feeling that this series was going to be one to watch. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily strict meta. The micro is good, like really good. You know what I mean? This isn't just standard what we see in Automatch every day. This is like just genuine two great players just throwing everything at each other. These are the games that we live to cast. You know what I mean? Totally. Just gonna have a quick check out the stats for this game as well.
Oh, absolutely. We've got some great commenters and chats. For example, people like Sherlock, the guys that funded the prize pool for this tournament. Tab Mackey's out there as well. There's many people in chat right now that paid for the Grand Championship series to happen. I see Ashtari there too. These guys, this is for you. This is the entertainment you paid for. And this is what you've gotten. You know, well played.
Right, okay. I don't know about you, but I may need to